Dumplin, Go Big or Go Home by Julie Murphy. Chapter 2. I'm scrubbing down the counter as two guys and a girl walk in. Work is so slow that I've damn near wiped the enamel off. What can I get y'all? I ask without looking up. Bo, starting point guard for the Holy Cross Bulldogs, yells the guy on the right in an announcer's voice with his hands cupped around his mouth. When Bo doesn't immediately appear, both boys bark his first name over and over again. Bo, Bo, Bo. The girl situated between them rolls her eyes. Bo, yells Marcus, get out here so your asshole friends will shut up. Bo rounds the corner as he stuffs his visor into the back pocket of his pants. He crosses his arms over his puffed out chest. Hey, Colin, he nods to the girl. Amber, Rory. He leans back against the counter behind us, widening the space between him and his friends. What are y'all doing on this side of town? Field trip, says Colin. Bo clears his throat but says nothing. The tension between them vibrates. The other guy, Rory, I think, studies the menu on the counter. Hey, he says to me, could I get 2 dogs? Mustard and relish only. Yeah. I punch his order into the computer as I try not to let my eyes wander. Been a long time, says Amber. How is that even possible? There are maybe 30 people in each graduating class at Holy Cross. Colin drapes his arm over Amber's shoulder. Been missing you at the gym. Where you been lately? Around, says Bo. Do you want a drink with that? I ask. Yeah, says Rory and holds a $50 bill in front of my face. I can't break anything bigger than a 20. I point to the small handwritten sign taped to the front of my register. Bo, says Colin, all I've got on me is plastic. You think you could do Rory a solid and make some change? For a moment, there's this dead silence that sinks. I don't have my wallet on me. Colin smirks. Amber, the amazing eye-rolling girl, reaches into her pocket and drops a 10 on the counter. I make change and tell Rory, your order will be out soon. Colin tilts his head toward me. What's your name? I open my mouth to answer, but Willowdean. Her name is Willowdean, says Bo. I gotta get back to work. Bo heads for the kitchen and doesn't bother turning around as his friends call for him to come back. I like the facial hair, says Amber. It suits you. But he's already gone. She stares me down, but all I can do is shrug. At home, I walk around to the back and let myself in through the sliding glass door. The front door's been jammed for years. My mom always says we need a man to come over and fix it, but my Aunt Lucy always said it was the perfect excuse to not have to answer the front door, and I tended to agree with her. My mom is sitting at the kitchen table, still in her scrubs and with her blonde hair piled high on top of her head, watching the news on her portable TV. For as long as I can remember, she's always watched her shows in here because Lucy was almost always on the couch in the living room. But it's been 6 months now since Lucy's funeral, and she's still watching her shows in the kitchen on her portable television. Mom's shaking her head at the news anchors when she says, Hey Dumplin, dinner's in the fridge. I drop my purse on the table and grab the plastic-wrapped plate. The last few days of school mark the start of a pageant prep season, which means my mom is on a diet. And when my mom is on a diet, so is everyone else, which means dinner is grilled chicken salad. It could be worse. It has been worse. She clicks her tongue. You've got a little breakout there on your forehead. You're not eating that greasy food you're selling, are you? You know I don't even like burgers and hot dogs. I don't sigh. I want to, but my mom will hear. It doesn't matter how loud the TV is. It could be 2 years from now and I could be away at college in some other town, hundreds of miles away, and my mom would hear me sigh all the way from home and call me to say, Now Dumplin, you know I hate when you sigh. There is nothing less attractive than a discontent young woman. There are, I think, lots of things wrong with that sentiment. I sit down to eat and liberally spread salad dressing across my plate because on the 8th day, God created ranch dressing. My mom crosses her legs and points her toes, examining her chipped pedicure. How was work? It was fine. There was some old guy catcalling from the drive-thru. Called me sweet cheeks. "Aw," she says. "Well, that's kind of flattering if you think about it." Mama, come on. No, that's gross. She flips the dial on her TV, turning it off. Baby, trust me when I say that the man market narrows as you age, no matter how well maintained you are. This is not a conversation I want to have. Ron was out sick. Bless his heart, she laughs. You know he had the biggest crush on me in high school. At least once a week since I took the job, she brings this up. When I first applied during Thanksgiving break, Lucy told me she always suspected that had been the other way around. But the way my mom tells it, every guy in town had a thing for her. Everyone wanted a piece of Clover City's Miss Teen Blue Bonnet. She slurred one night after a few glasses of wine. The pageant is my mother's single greatest accomplishment. She still fits into her dress, a fact she won't let anyone forget. Which is why, as head of the pageant committee and the official hostess, she takes it upon herself to squeeze into the dress as a yearly encore for all of her adoring fans. I feel the weight of Lucy's cat, Riot, settle in on top of my feet. I tap my toes and he purrs. I saw a bunch of girls doing some kind of pageant boot camp after school. She grins. I tell you what, the competition gets stiffer every year. What about you? How was the home? Oh, you know, just one of those days. She flips through her checkbook and massages her temples. We lost Eunice today. Oh no, I say. I'm so sorry, Mom. Once a year, like Cinderella, my mom's life is glamorous. It's a life she expected to live. But for the rest of the year, she works as an orderly at the Buena Vista Ranch retirement home, where she does exotic things like doll out daily prescriptions, feed the elderly, and wipe their asses. Eunice was one of my mom's favorites. She always confused her for one of her sisters and whispered childhood secrets in her ear every time my mom bent down to help her up. She had her after-lunch ambrosia and closed her eyes. She shakes her head. I let her sit there for a minute because I thought she was napping. She stands and kisses the top of my head. I'm going to bed, Dumplin. Night. I wait for the sound of her door clicking shut before I bury my dinner in the trash can beneath one of those free newspapers. I grab a fistful of pretzels and a soda before running upstairs. As I pass Lucy's closed door, I linger for a moment, letting the tips of my fingers brush the knob.